Welcome to Stoic in your life. Aristotle once said, "Envy is pain at the sight of another's good fortune, stirred by those who have what we ought to have." Have you ever sensed a smile that didn't quite reach the eyes or a compliment that felt off? Behind these masks, complex emotions brew. Today we dive deep into understanding the 11 signs that someone may harbor hidden envy and hatred towards you. The signs of passive-aggressive behavior, subtle put-downs, and the elusive support that never comes to fruition. This is your guide to deciphering the silent battles and unseen wounds in everyday interactions. Join us as we navigate the murky waters of hidden emotions, where appearances often deceive and true intentions are veiled. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and prepare to uncover whether you can spot these telltale signs in others, or perhaps even in yourself. Let's embark on this revealing journey together. Are you ready? Let's dive in. One, envy and discontent. Envy and discontent are emotions that are deeply human, yet they can also be incredibly destructive if not handled with awareness and introspection. This is precisely the sort of emotional challenge that presents a unique opportunity for personal growth, provided we possess the courage to confront these feelings openly and honestly. Imagine delving into the very core of these emotions, exploring how they shape our interactions and perceptions. This process is not only about understanding others, but also about achieving a deeper insight into our own nature and motivations. Now let's consider a scenario where you suspect that someone harbors hidden feelings of hatred and envy towards you. How can you identify these undercurrents that may be influencing your relationships? Start by observing subtle signs in their behavior. Do they seem unusually competitive? Is there a pattern of passive aggression or backhanded compliments? These signals can often reveal unspoken resentments. Reflect on this. Envy is the art of counting the other fellow's blessings instead of your own. This quote by Harold Coffin might prompt you to think about why someone might feel compelled to undervalue your achievements instead of focusing on their own. It's also essential to ask yourself open-ended questions to facilitate a deeper dialogue, both internally and with your audience. Why do you think people feel the need to mask their true feelings of envy and discontent? What might they be trying to protect or gain through such behavior? Engaging with these questions not only encourages introspection but also prepares you to handle these challenging dynamics with greater empathy and understanding. Furthermore, as you narrate these insights, it's important to weave your storytelling seamlessly, transitioning smoothly from one point to the next. This ensures that your audience remains engaged and can follow your narrative effortlessly. As you explore the concept of envy and how it manifests in secretive dislike, remember the words of Friedrich Nietzsche. "Wherever I climb, I am followed by a dog called ego." Nietzsche's observation highlights the role of ego in feelings of envy and discontent. Consider how this insight applies to your situation, and discuss how recognizing this can influence one's approach to personal and professional relationships. In addressing these complex emotions, your aim should be not just to educate but also to offer strategies for resilience and personal growth. How can one constructively confront feelings of envy, both in themselves and in others? By fostering a dialogue that is not only informative but also encouraging and supportive, you help your audience navigate the often turbulent waters of human emotions. To sum up, as you delve into the signs that someone may secretly hate and envy you, it's crucial to maintain a narrative that is engaging, thoughtful, and enriched with wisdom, both ancient and modern. This approach not only enhances understanding but also promotes a reflective and compassionate mindset that can be applied in various aspects of life. How will you use these insights to improve your interactions and foster a more positive environment in your personal and professional life? Engage with this question as you move forward and encourage your listeners to do the same. This ongoing conversation is what will ultimately lead to deeper connections and a more profound understanding of human nature. Aiu. A smile that doesn't reach the eyes. In our exploration of human interactions, we often stumble upon a curious anomaly. The smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, a phenomenon that not only reveals, but also conceals. Often seen in those who secretly harbor envy, this half-hearted gesture of joy stands as a testament to the complexity, and sometimes the duplicity, of human emotions. As we engage in conversations where our words drip with honey but our true sentiments fester, this particular expression becomes a powerful indicator of our inner turmoil and discontent. Epictetus once mused, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of our interactions, this wisdom encourages a deeper observation of the nonverbal cues that accompany spoken words. When someone's smile doesn't fully illuminate their face, it often signals a dissonance between their external expressions and internal feelings. This smile, a social mask, can mislead, but to the discerning eye, it reveals the truth of resentment and concealed hostility. Understanding this gap between verbal affirmations and nonverbal communication is not merely an exercise in observation, but a call to foster genuine connections. It reminds us that beneath the surface of cordial exchanges, there may lie feelings of rivalry or bitterness. Recognizing a smile that doesn't reach the eyes is not about judgment, but about perceiving the underlying dynamics at play, which may be guiding someone's actions or reactions. Moreover, this recognition invites us to reflect on our own emotional authenticity. Are we presenting ourselves to the world in a manner that is true to our feelings, or are we too hiding behind a facade? As Marcus Aurelius put it, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking. By confronting and embracing our true emotions, rather than masking them, we pave the way for more sincere and meaningful relationships. In a society that often prizes perpetual positivity, acknowledging and expressing feelings like envy or dissatisfaction can be daunting. Yet embracing these less favorable emotions is essential for personal growth and for fostering relationships that are rooted in truth rather than pretense. Discussing complex emotions openly can mitigate misunderstandings and fortify bonds, creating a community where empathy and understanding prevail and where smiles genuinely mirror the heart's content. Thus, as we navigate the intricate web of human emotions, let us strive for authenticity in our interactions. Let us learn to recognize the signs of unspoken feelings and meet them with empathy and honesty. Doing so not only enriches our personal lives but also contributes to a more authentic and compassionate society. Remember, as we look into the eyes that mirror the soul, let our smiles be as deep as our spirits, fully reflecting the breadth of our inner joy or the challenges we seek to overcome. 3. Devaluation of achievements. In our exploration of human dynamics, one particularly disheartening behavior is the tendency of some individuals to belittle others' achievements. This is often driven by envy and manifests as either overt comments or subtle dismissals that aim to undercut the perceived value of someone else's successes. Such actions are not just minor slights. They are deliberate attempts to erode the confidence of achievers and diminish their accomplishments in the eyes of their peers. For instance, remarks like, "That's no big deal," or "I could do it too if I tried," are not innocuous. They are calculated to trivialize efforts, portraying them as insignificant or unimpressive. This tactic can deflate the spirit of someone who might have fought hard battles to reach their milestones. Similarly, when achievements are met with silence or indifference, it sends a powerful message of disregard, suggesting that the success is unworthy of attention. This form of passive aggression can be just as harmful as direct criticism. This behavior reflects deep-seated insecurities and a struggle to process feelings of inadequacy. Those who diminish others often do so to distract from their own perceived shortcomings. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, envy is the ulcer of the soul. It consumes individuals, driving them to focus negatively on others rather than fostering their own growth and happiness. Understanding this, it's vital to recognize the importance of celebrating others' victories as communal successes. By genuinely rejoicing in the accomplishments of those around us, we not only foster a positive environment, but also enrich our own lives. Each success story can inspire and motivate, serving as a reminder of what is possible through effort and persistence. Furthermore, in today's competitive world, where achievements are often broadcast across social media, it's easy to feel overshadowed and resort to minimizing others to elevate oneself. However, true self-worth comes from acknowledging and overcoming one's own challenges, not from comparing oneself to others or belittling their achievements. In conclusion, embracing a philosophy of mutual respect and admiration can transform our interactions and societal dynamics. As we navigate the complexities of human relationships, let us strive to be the ones who uplift and support, not those who look to undermine. After all, in the wise words of Mark Twain, really great people make you feel that you too can become great. Let's choose to be the catalysts for greatness in others, celebrating every victory as a collective triumph, fostering an atmosphere of growth and positivity that benefits all. 4. Behaviors that are passive-aggressive. In the tapestry of human interactions, passive-aggressive behavior emerges as a subtle yet pervasive form of expression, often stemming from the darker realms of envy and dissatisfaction. This behavior is like a dance of shadows where actions and words are disguised under a facade of civility, yet they carry the sting of hidden animosity. Imagine you're at work, and a colleague compliments your project in a meeting but later makes snide remarks under their breath. This veiled critique, though wrapped in the guise of humor or casual banter, is a classic hallmark of passive aggressiveness, where the intent to undermine is cloaked in ambiguity. The roots of this conduct often trace back to a cocktail of repressed feelings and unmet desires. Individuals who resort to such behavior may be grappling with their insecurities and fears, choosing indirectness as their shield, because it allows them to vent without the risk of direct confrontation. However, this method of communication can be incredibly frustrating for the recipient, who finds themselves constantly trying to interpret whether remarks are sincere or laced with malice. Let's take the story of Emily, for example. She noticed that her friend Sarah would often make ambiguous comments about Emily's lifestyle choices, suggesting she was lucky to get her job due to connections rather than merit. This behavior made Emily question not only Sarah's sincerity, but also her own accomplishments, casting a shadow over her achievements. Why then do some choose to wield their words like hidden blades? Is it a protective mechanism against vulnerability, or perhaps a distorted effort to maintain dignity without stooping to overt hostility? This exploration beckons us to introspect. How do we manage our own negative emotions and perceptions about others? By confronting and understanding the nature of passive-aggressive behavior, we don't just expose the complexities of human relationships, but also embark on a journey toward personal growth and emotional maturity. How often have you found yourself or others veiling true feelings behind a facade of ambiguous statements? Reflecting on these moments can enlighten our interactions and lead us to foster more genuine and transparent connections. As we peel back the layers of passive-aggressive dynamics, the lessons are clear. Recognizing and addressing these behaviors can not only alleviate personal grievances but also enhance our emotional intelligence. It's about more than just avoiding conflict. It's about evolving our ways of communication and strengthening our relationships. In embracing honesty and directness, we find not only peace, but also a deeper connection to those around us. 5. Exaggerated imitation. In today's exploration of the subtle yet profound ways envy can infiltrate our relationships, let's delve into a particularly curious behavior: exaggerated imitation. Have you ever noticed someone not just picking up on your hobbies or fashion choices, but almost morphing into a version of you? This isn't just about sharing interests. It's about a deeper, more convoluted form of envy. You've likely heard the adage, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yet in this context, imitation transforms into a complex expression of envy. Initially, this mimicry might appear harmless, even flattering. However, as this behavior intensifies, it unveils itself as nothing short of an obsession, a competitive urge to not only match but surpass and replace the person they are imitating. Why would someone engage in this type of imitation? It's a question that brings us to the heart of human insecurity and dissatisfaction. Those who imitate to this exaggerated extent often struggle with their self-identity and harbor an incessant need for external validation. They are not just adopting your tastes. They are attempting to usurp your place via for the same admiration and attention, and perhaps outshine you. This dangerous game turns into a distorted mirror act, where the imitator loses their sense of self, adopting a persona that isn't their own. It's a desperate and ultimately doomed attempt to assimilate the successes and accolades of another, as if one could simply absorb admiration through imitation. But this endeavor is inherently flawed. Oscar Wilde famously said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." This pursuit fails because it overlooks the intrinsic value and uniqueness of each individual. The very essence of our human experience is diminished when we forsake our authenticity for imitation. Behind this facade often lies a profound insecurity and a lack of self-esteem. Those caught in this cycle may feel inadequate, seeking in their imitation a way to feel more successful or valuable. But does this path lead to genuine fulfillment? Or does it erode the very authenticity that forms the bedrock of our individuality? Encouraging a culture of self-acceptance and appreciation for our unique traits is essential. By recognizing and fostering our own talents and interests, we build relationships grounded in mutual respect and true admiration, not in the shadows of destructive competition. As we confront and strive to overcome exaggerated imitation, we pave the way for a richer, more authentic interaction among individuals. This shift not only celebrates the diversity of perspectives each person brings, but also enriches our social fabric. So let me ask you, have you ever felt overshadowed by someone's imitation? How did it affect your perception of your own individuality? Reflecting on these questions can help us understand not only the motives behind such behaviors, but also the profound impact they can have on our relationships and self-image. Let's continue to explore and appreciate our uniqueness, fostering a community where each individual's authentic self is celebrated. 6. Excessive competitiveness. As we navigate the complex terrain of human interactions, excessive competitiveness emerges as a potent indicator of underlying envy. This phenomenon extends far beyond a mere desire to improve oneself. It ventures into a realm where success is measured not by personal achievements but by the failures of others. In its most destructive form, this obsession can lead to direct sabotage, actions aimed not just at winning, but at ensuring the opponent's defeat. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows," highlighting the barrier that excessive competitiveness creates against self-improvement and genuine achievement. Healthy competition can be a catalyst for growth, pushing us to excel and redefine our boundaries. However, when tainted by envy, competition becomes a pathological force, undermining our basic drive for evolution. In such scenarios, a victory is dimmed if it does not coincide with another's loss, particularly someone perceived as a rival. This mindset traps individuals in a relentless cycle of comparison, where satisfaction is fleeting and contingent upon outshining others. It reveals a profound insecurity and a skewed perception of worth that is dangerously tied to the downfall of peers. Those engulfed by this toxic competitiveness might engage in undermining the accomplishments of others through relentless criticism or more sinister acts of sabotage. Such behavior not only damages the immediate victims, but also erodes the broader fabric of community relations, fostering a climate of mistrust and hostility. To counteract this, it is essential to cultivate an introspective approach and develop a worldview that prizes collective achievement and teamwork over individual rivalry. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic sage, advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By applying this wisdom, we can redirect our competitive impulses from overcoming others to surpassing our own previous limitations. Promoting an environment that values cooperation and shared success is critical in curbing the negative impacts of envy-driven competitiveness. This approach enhances not only personal well-being, but also strengthens community bonds, making the success of one an uplift for all. By facing envy and excessive competitiveness with maturity and insight, we transform these obstacles into avenues for personal growth and societal advancement. Excessive competitiveness, when rooted in envy, can be corrosive to both personal integrity and communal harmony. By recognizing and recalibrating our motivations from surpassing others to improving ourselves, we forge a path toward a more productive and harmonious society. This shift in focus is crucial for developing a sustainable model of success that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us, embodying the true spirit of progress and resilience. 7. Selective Indifference. In our daily lives, we often encounter a complex phenomenon that might not be immediately noticeable, but has profound effects on our interpersonal relationships: selective indifference. This behavior manifests when someone shows a lack of interest or response to the successes or positive events in other people's lives. But don't be fooled. This indifference isn't a mere oversight. It's a deliberate, strategic act meant to downplay and dismiss the achievements of others, usually stemming from a place of envy. Imagine you've just shared news of a major promotion at work during a friendly gathering, expecting smiles and congratulations. Instead, one of your friends barely acknowledges the news, quickly shifting the conversation to a trivial topic. This subtle dismissal is selective indifference in action. Far from innocent, this behavior is loaded with intention, a quiet yet effective weapon used by those who feel diminished by others' success. By choosing not to celebrate or even acknowledge your milestones, the envious person sends a powerful message. Your achievements aren't worthy of attention. This tactic not only attempts to steal the joy from your accomplishments but also aims to undermine your confidence, suggesting that your efforts hold little value. But why do people resort to such behavior? Often it stems from an inner dissatisfaction or insecurity in those who practice it. Rather than seeking personal growth or addressing their feelings, they find it easier to belittle others' successes. Unfortunately, this choice does not resolve their underlying issues. Instead, it contributes to the erosion of relationships and fosters an atmosphere of emotional coldness and distance. Let's consider a modern scenario. Alex, a young software developer, creates a groundbreaking app that receives acclaim from his peers and industry leaders. However, his closest colleague, Jamie, reacts with disinterest and focuses only on the potential flaws when others bring it up. Jamie's selective indifference not only hurts Alex but also isolates Jamie from his colleagues who value teamwork and mutual support. In reflecting on this behavior, whether in ourselves or others, it's crucial to recognize its destructive potential. How often have we, perhaps even subconsciously, diminished others' achievements? By identifying and understanding selective indifference, we can choose a different path, one of genuine appreciation and recognition. Now I ask you, have you ever experienced or noticed selective indifference in your own life? How did it make you feel? And how did you respond? Engaging in this reflection allows us to combat envy and promote a more supportive and encouraging environment. Encouraging a culture where everyone's achievements are celebrated not only enhances our relationships, but also enriches our community with positivity and mutual respect. In conclusion, as we navigate through the tapestry of human interactions, let's strive to be aware of the subtle signs of selective indifference. Recognizing and addressing this behavior can help us build stronger, more supportive relationships that uplift everyone involved. By fostering an environment where successes are genuinely celebrated, we encourage a more harmonious and collaborative community, true to the principles of growth and mutual respect. Remember, every achievement, big or small, deserves recognition, and every individual success adds value to the collective human experience. 8. Covert sabotage. In the complex ballet of human interactions, covert sabotage emerges as a particularly clandestine form of envy. This phenomenon cleverly masquerades under a cloak of normality, making it one of the most deceptively harmful expressions of jealousy. Rather than resorting to blatant rivalry or clear-cut attempts to belittle others, those who engage in covert sabotage deploy subtler tactics. These tactics might include erecting barriers to impede someone's progress, disseminating slight but misleading information, or subtly swaying others' opinions to paint their target in a negative light. The objective behind these covert actions is insidiously simple: to quietly thwart someone's achievements, making the detection of both the perpetrator and their true intentions incredibly challenging. The stealthy nature of covert sabotage allows it to present as mere coincidence or unfortunate luck, which leaves the affected individuals vulnerable and often unaware of the actual adversities they face. This form of manipulation is not just a mind game. It can deeply affect one's emotional state and shape their professional or personal path in profound ways. The inherent difficulty in identifying and proving such sabotage makes it particularly toxic. Victims may struggle in solitude, grappling with self-doubt, and questioning their own abilities, as there's rarely clear evidence of wrongdoing. How then does one confront an enemy unseen and tactics unproven? It begins with an acute awareness of the subtleties in personal and professional relationships and recognizing potential signs of sabotage. Building self-confidence and fostering a robust support system are also vital. To comprehend the depth of such deceit, consider this quote by George Washington: "Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company." This underscores the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences, a principle that can be a beacon in navigating through the murky waters of covert sabotage. When facing potential sabotage, how do you maintain your poise and ensure your progress isn't hindered by the envy of others? It involves a delicate balance of vigilance and resilience. Understanding that the root of this sabotage often lies in the saboteur's own insecurities and fears might offer some solace, allowing for empathy and potentially forgiveness. Setting clear boundaries is crucial, as is taking definitive steps to protect oneself from further damage. This might mean seeking advice from trusted mentors, documenting suspicious activities, or confronting the perpetrator, if feasible. By casting light on the dark intentions behind covert sabotage and understanding its basis in envy, we not only strengthen our capacity to counteract such forces, but also open avenues for personal growth and relationship healing. This journey of overcoming covert sabotage and transforming envy into constructive growth is daunting yet rewarding. It asks for courage, determination, and a steadfast commitment to personal integrity and emotional intelligence. As Marcus Aurelius aptly stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By following this path, not only do we fortify our own positions in life, but we also contribute to creating healthier, more supportive environments around us. So as we continue to explore this topic, what steps can you imagine taking to safeguard your journey from the shadows of covert sabotage? 9. Information manipulation. Have you ever wondered about the lengths someone might go to out of jealousy or envy? Well, information manipulation is one of the most insidious tactics used by those who harbor hidden animosities. This method involves the deliberate distortion or withholding of crucial information, often with the explicit intention of sabotaging someone's reputation or blocking their professional or social advancement. Imagine, for a moment, that you're on the receiving end of such manipulation. It's not just about spreading unfounded rumors. It's about strategically omitting details that could protect or benefit you, effectively creating artificial obstacles to your success. Why do people do this? It boils down to a profound moral failure and a desperate need to see others fail where they cannot succeed. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "When others do wrong, we must leave it to them. Yet, in the face of deceit, taking a passive stance is not always an option. The impact of such behavior goes beyond creating discomfort or unease. It can change the course of lives, close doors of opportunities, and so enduring conflicts. Have you ever stopped to consider how the information you receive might be shaped by others' envy? This reflection is the first step towards protecting not just yourself, but also those around you, from the ripple effects of envy-driven misinformation. Creating environments of transparency and mutual respect, where fact-checking is not just encouraged but expected, is crucial. When encountering attempts at information manipulation, how might you act to protect potential targets and discourage such behavior? Whether it's correcting misinformation or promoting a culture that values honesty over success at any cost, each action contributes to a healthier, more robust community. Confronting the roots of information manipulation requires both courage and determination, a battle that is undeniably tough, but undeniably worth fighting. As we uphold the integrity of our interactions and communications, we safeguard not just individual well-being, but also the very fabric of our society. After all, in a world where truth and trust are increasingly precious, isn't protecting the integrity of information a duty we all share? Let's pause here for a moment. Reflect on this. In your own life, how can you promote a culture of transparency and integrity? And what steps can you take to ensure that the information you share and receive is truthful and unmarred by hidden agendas? Join us as we continue to explore these questions and more, aiming not just to understand the world but to make it a better, more truthful place. 10. Projection of insecurities. In the labyrinth of human emotions, the act of projecting insecurities onto others stands out as a particularly intricate and revealing behavior. This mechanism is often employed by those who harbor feelings of envy and discontent with themselves. Imagine someone who, instead of facing their own flaws and areas of dissatisfaction, chooses to offload these onto someone else. They might point out shortcomings in others that are actually reflections of their own internal struggles. This act of projection isn't just a defense strategy to hide vulnerabilities, it's also an attempt to shake the confidence of their target, making them feel inferior or insecure. Consider the story of Michael, a young professional who always felt overshadowed by his colleague Anna. Despite his own achievements, Michael's envy led him to constantly criticize Anna's project ideas in meetings, suggesting that they were unoriginal or poorly thought out. Unbeknownst to others, these were the very insecurities Michael felt about his own work. This behavior not only strained their relationship, but also created a toxic atmosphere within their team. Why does such behavior emerge? Essentially, by criticizing others, the envious person seeks to divert attention away from their inadequacies. This might provide temporary relief from their internal discomfort, creating an illusion of equality. However, this strategy fails to address the real issue, their fragile self-image and their struggle with feelings of inadequacy. Far from fostering personal growth, the projection of insecurities can inflict significant harm on the emotional well-being of the recipient, perpetuating a cycle of negativity and resentment that hinders the development of healthy, empathetic interpersonal relationships. Recognizing the projection of insecurities as a sign of envy requires considerable self-awareness and empathy. It involves understanding this behavior in oneself and identifying it in others. When we encounter criticisms that seem more reflective of the critic's issues than our own, it invites us to explore the deeper motivations behind these judgments and seek more constructive ways of addressing our vulnerabilities. Promoting an open dialogue about our insecurities and imperfections, and fostering an environment where fears and concerns can be expressed without judgment, is crucial. By confronting our own insecurities directly and with compassion, we can break the cycle of projection. This not only enhances our self-esteem but also helps us build more authentic relationships. Addressing the projection of insecurities thus calls us to a journey of self-exploration and personal growth. It's about transforming a defensive mechanism into an opportunity for developing greater personal insight and empathy. This endeavor not only improves our own quality of life, but also enriches our relationships, fostering a healthier, more supportive community for all. So, next time you feel criticized, ask yourself, are these comments truly about me, or are they reflections of the speaker's own insecurities? By considering this, we not only protect our self-esteem, but also open the door to more empathetic interactions. Let's strive to be aware of when we project our insecurities and encourage others to do the same, as understanding and addressing this can lead to profound personal development and richer, more supportive relationships. 11. Absence of support and constant discouragement. As we delve deeper into understanding the subtle yet destructive signs of envy, we encounter a particularly insidious form: the absence of support coupled with constant discouragement. Picture this. Rather than facing direct attacks or explicit criticism, you find yourself deprived of encouragement. Surrounded by comments that subtly chip away at your confidence. Imagine someone close to you, perhaps a friend or colleague, who under the guise of concern or a claim to pragmatism, continuously questions the feasibility of your goals. They suggest your aspirations are too lofty or fanciful, effectively camouflaging their envy behind a mask of realism. This behavior doesn't just leave you unsupported, it actively instills doubt and undermines your spirit. Think about the impact of such actions. When you're poised to strive for your ambitions, instead of bolstering your confidence, you're met with skepticism about your capabilities and the legitimacy of your dreams. This type of envy is a silent acid, eroding willpower and self-esteem from within. Often, those who behave this way may not only harbor envy, but might also be trying to cope with their own shortcomings or unmet goals by projecting their frustrations onto you, finding a twisted solace in belittling your ambitions. Consider a typical scenario in modern life. You're launching a small business, and instead of encouragement, you receive constant warnings from a so-called realistic friend doubting your success. They mask their negativity as concern, possibly not even fully conscious of their deep-seated envy. Facing such discouragement, you might start to question your own vision and abilities. How can you confront this pattern? It requires a significant amount of self-awareness and inner strength. To recognize that this discouragement often says more about the insecurities of the person offering it than about your own potential or the validity of your dreams. Realizing this can be incredibly freeing. It enables you to seek motivation and affirmation from within yourself and find genuinely supportive and constructive relationships. In recognizing the absence of support and constant discouragement as manifestations of envy, we are compelled to reflect on the broader importance of encouragement and faith in each other's capabilities and dreams. How often do you find yourself holding back from offering support to others out of a subconscious fear of their success? Conversely, how often do you allow the doubts of others to cloud your vision? Addressing these questions not only fosters personal resilience and self-confidence, but also paves the way for a more united and supportive community. In such a community, everyone's success is celebrated as a collective triumph. Let's take this moment to ask ourselves, are we contributing to an environment of growth and support, or are we letting our unspoken insecurities hinder not just our progress, but that of those around us? The journey toward overcoming these hidden envies and fostering a truly supportive circle begins with introspection and, importantly, action. By understanding and addressing these signs of hidden resentment, we not only enhance our personal development but also contribute to a healthier, more supportive environment for all. Remember, the strength of a community lies in its ability to uplift its members, not in the comfort of shared complacency. How the wise deal with the envious and jealous. You can never do right by some people. Once you identify who they are, it's best to limit or remove them from your life. You don't need someone who constantly tries to hold you back. 1. Most jealousy stems from dissatisfaction. Jealousy and envy often trace their roots back to a deep-seated dissatisfaction within an individual. When someone encounters qualities or achievements in you that highlight their own perceived shortcomings, this awareness can fester, manifesting as jealousy. It's not uncommon for such individuals to adopt negative behaviors, such as making spiteful remarks, as a misguided attempt to alleviate their feelings of inadequacy. However, this doesn't tackle the root of their dissatisfaction. It merely masks it temporarily. Consequently, even if they advance in their careers or form new friendships, their envy simply finds a new target, perpetuating a cycle of discontent and resentment. Alex, a dedicated employee who works diligently and receives a well-deserved promotion. Alex's colleague, Sam, feels overshadowed and starts to harbor feelings of envy. Instead of addressing his feelings or striving to improve his own performance, Sam begins to undermine Alex's achievements by spreading rumors and questioning his qualifications in front of their peers. This scenario is all too common in workplaces and even in personal relationships where jealousy can distort perception and lead to destructive behavior. In dealing with the envious or jealous, the wise adopt a compassionate approach. They recognize that these feelings are often cries for help, signs of someone struggling with their own limitations rather than genuine disdain towards others. So, how can you, as a modern Stoic, manage such situations effectively? It starts by fostering an environment of openness and encouragement. Rather than retaliating or dismissing the envious person, engage them in a dialogue. Ask them, what goals are you aspiring to achieve and how can I support you in that journey? This approach not only diffuses the situation, but also promotes a sense of community and shared purpose. Engaging directly with the person's feelings and aspirations can transform a potentially negative interaction into a constructive one. Moreover, it encourages them to reflect on their own behaviors and possibly rethink their approach towards others' success. As a Stoic, your aim is not merely to respond to envy, but to understand it, to see it as an opportunity for collective growth and personal introspection. Remember, every interaction with someone driven by jealousy or envy is a chance to practice patience, understanding, and resilience, qualities central to Stoic philosophy. These encounters are not just challenges, but opportunities to strengthen your character and help others along their path. By addressing envy constructively, you cultivate a community where individuals feel valued and supported, reducing feelings of inadequacy and isolation. As we wrap up, consider this. How often do you recognize signs of dissatisfaction in yourself or others, and how do you respond? Are you contributing to a culture of competition or one of mutual support and growth? The Stoic response to envy is not just to overcome it, but to transform it into an avenue for improvement and unity. This approach not only soothes tensions, but also enriches your personal and professional relationships, offering lasting peace and satisfaction that no amount of external achievement can provide. Engage with these questions, reflect on your experiences, and continue to nurture a community of support and understanding. In doing so, you embody the true essence of Stoicism, turning every challenge into a stepping stone for personal and collective advancement. Here are some wise tips for dealing with jealous individuals. 2. Delete. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, how one navigates the choppy waters of envy and jealousy can significantly shape their peace of mind and interpersonal relationships. Imagine you are scrolling through your personal page, and suddenly, you find yourself at the receiving end of negative comments. What is the wise response? The first step is to harness control over your immediate environment. Delete any harmful comments. If the negativity persists, consider removing that person from your circle, be it by unfriending or blocking them. In digital spaces, your peace is paramount, and maintaining it often requires such decisive actions. But let's delve deeper. Stoicism teaches us not just to react, but to understand and manage our reactions thoughtfully. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What does this mean for you when facing envy and jealousy, especially in unavoidable in-person encounters? It prompts a vital question. How can you assert your boundaries in a manner that maintains your serenity and respects your values. You do not owe forgiveness to those who bully or belittle you, but engaging in a conversation might sometimes be necessary. This isn't about confrontation, but about seeking understanding, or at least establishing clear boundaries. Such discussions are not just about airing grievances, but also about learning to coexist, despite differing viewpoints or emotions. How can you approach such a conversation with the calm and rational mind of a Stoic? Moreover, Stoicism doesn't just equip us to handle direct interactions. It also offers profound insights into handling our internal responses. Seneca advised, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Reflect on this. How might showing compassion, even in the face of envy, alter not just the other person's behavior, but also your own emotional landscape? By responding with empathy and maintaining a composed demeanor, you potentially disarm the negativity, turning a potentially volatile interaction into a bridge-building opportunity. Now, as you consider these scenarios, think about the implications of handling such situations with Stoic wisdom. How might this influence your day-to-day interactions and overall well-being? What can you learn about yourself and others through these experiences? Engaging with this content isn't just about theoretical knowledge, it's about practical application. How will you apply these Stoic principles to your next challenging interaction? In crafting your response to envy and jealousy, remember that the aim is not merely to manage but to transcend, to not only navigate but to guide, to transform potentially disruptive encounters into opportunities for personal growth and increased mutual understanding. Keep these thoughts in mind as you continue your journey through the Stoic way of life, where every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue and every interaction a chance to display grace under pressure. How will you rise to the occasion the next time envy or jealousy tries to disrupt your peace? This is a question worth pondering as we continue our exploration of Stoicism and its relevance to modern life. 3. Address the issue. In the landscape of human emotions, envy and jealousy are often viewed as weeds, unwelcome yet ubiquitous. It is in the gardens of our professional and personal lives that these feelings most frequently take root, potentially strangling the harmony and growth we strive to cultivate. Dealing effectively with envy, whether in ourselves or in others, is a skill that not only improves interpersonal relations, but also promotes a tranquil mind, an objective dearly held by Stoic philosophy. As Marcus Aurelius once counseled, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This reflection is not only a shield against hypocrisy but also a step toward understanding the root of envy and jealousy. Addressing the issue directly is sometimes unavoidable. When faced with persistent jealousy from others, especially when subtler strategies fail to quell the storm, a frank yet compassionate conversation may be the best recourse. Engaging with the envious person when you are in a state of calm rationality maximizes the chance of a productive dialogue. It's essential to speak as you would wish to be spoken to, combining truth with empathy. Imagine, for instance, a situation in the workplace where a colleague consistently undermines you by highlighting your errors in front of your superior. An accusatory confrontation, such as asking, "Why do you always smear my name in front of the boss?" is likely to escalate tensions rather than soothe them. A more constructive approach might involve expressing your feelings and the impact of their actions, perhaps saying, "I feel disheartened when my mistakes are continuously pointed out in such a public manner. It's affecting not only my performance but our working relationship as well." This method of direct confrontation is not merely about addressing the negative, but also about opening a pathway to mutual understanding and respect. By articulating how the actions of the jealous or envious person affect you, you're inviting them to view the situation from your perspective, possibly paving the way for behavioral change. This approach aligns with the teachings of Epictetus, who said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." By initiating open communication, you dismantle the barriers of presumed understanding, allowing both parties to explore new insights into their interactions. Moreover, in tying these ancient philosophies to modern-day scenarios, we not only preserve their relevance, but also enhance our contemporary lives. The Stoic practice of reflection before reaction fosters deeper, personal introspection and leads to more deliberate and kind responses. In an era where social dynamics are often complicated by digital communications and societal pressures, applying these time-tested strategies can help us navigate through the noise with grace and wisdom. Thus, dealing with envy and jealousy with a blend of Stoic wisdom, empathetic dialogue, and direct confrontation not only resolves immediate conflicts, but also fosters a culture of understanding and respect. As we strive to become better communicators and more compassionate individuals, we mirror the Stoic ideal of living in agreement with nature, our own nature, and the nature of those around us. By embedding these practices into our daily routines, we not only enrich our own lives but also contribute to a more thoughtful and considerate world. 4. Remember, it's their issue, not yours. When faced with the envious and jealous, it's essential to remember one foundational truth. Their feelings are a reflection of their internal struggles, not a measure of your worth. Have you ever noticed how some people react negatively to your success or happiness? Let's consider the example of a cousin who seems to disparage your family vacations, making snide remarks about the expense. On the surface, it may seem like outright resentment. However, delving deeper, you might find that their envy is rooted in something more poignant. Perhaps they're struggling because they haven't been able to give their family a similar experience, maybe due to financial constraints or time pressures. This isn't about you. It's about their unfulfilled desires and the sadness that accompanies them. Understanding the source of someone's jealousy can transform how you respond to them. Instead of reacting defensively, you can choose empathy. Imagine responding to your cousin not with irritation, but with an understanding nod or even sharing tips on planning affordable trips. By doing so, you're not just dodging conflict, you're potentially inspiring them to see possibilities within their reach. This approach doesn't just elevate your interactions, it deepens your understanding of human emotions and resilience. Now think about a time in your life when you felt envious of someone else. What was driving that feeling? Often, if we look closely, we find that our envy stems from our insecurities and the gaps between where we are and where we wish to be. Recognizing this in ourselves can help us manage not only our feelings but also how we relate to others when we're on the receiving end of their envy. So, how can you apply this understanding in a practical context? Consider a workplace scenario where a colleague seems to undermine your achievements. Instead of simmering in silence or confronting them aggressively, a Stoic approach would be to engage in a constructive conversation. Perhaps you could ask, "I've noticed some tension between us. Can we talk about it?" This open-ended question not only sets the stage for honest communication, but also gives the other person a safe space to express their feelings, which might be all they need to move past their negative emotions. As we wrap up, remember that dealing with jealousy is not just about managing external conflicts. It's a profound exercise in compassion and self-reflection. Each encounter with envy, whether ours or someone else's, is an opportunity to practice patience, understanding, and resilience. These moments challenge us to rise above petty grievances and contribute to a more empathetic world. So next time you encounter jealousy, ask yourself, how can I turn this situation into a learning experience for both of us? What can I learn about myself and the other person that might help us both grow? With this mindset, you're not just surviving the challenges of envy, you're thriving amidst them and helping others do the same. 5. Counteract them with positivity. Dealing with the envious and jealous can often feel like navigating through a maze of negativity, but embracing positivity as a countermeasure can transform these interactions profoundly. Have you ever wondered why someone might respond with envy? It often springs from their deep-seated insecurities and feelings of inferiority. When you understand this, it shifts how you might react to their words or actions. Let's consider a scenario that might be familiar to you. Suppose a friend passes a seemingly benign comment about your house, tinged with envy, such as, "Your house is so big. Mine feels like a shoebox in comparison." In moments like these, how should you respond? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once advised, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" Reflecting on this, a wise response would be to highlight something admirable about them. For instance, you might reply, "Your garden is much nicer than mine. You must have a green thumb. It's wonderful that each of us has different strengths and abilities." This approach is not merely about deflecting negativity, but about transforming it. It's not always easy to compliment someone, especially if you aren't close or find them difficult to like. However, consider the power of a kind word. By acknowledging their strengths, you not only encourage them to recognize their own value, but also sow seeds of positivity in your interaction. How does this make you feel, knowing that your words could lift someone else from the pits of their own jealousy and perhaps brighten your day as well? Now think about the broader implications of this strategy. By choosing to engage positively with someone who is envious, you cultivate a generous spirit within yourself. You also set a precedent for how conflicts can be resolved with grace and empathy. Have you ever experienced a time when turning a negative interaction into a positive one changed the dynamics of your relationship with someone? What was the outcome, and how did it influence your future interactions? In navigating the tumultuous waters of human emotions, it's helpful to remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Whenever you are irritated with someone's shamelessness, ask yourself immediately, is it possible for there to be no shameless people in the world? It is not possible. Do not then ask for the impossible. This perspective invites us to accept the imperfections in others and, importantly, to respond to them with a mindset of growth and understanding. Through practicing this approach, you not only shield yourself from the draining effects of others' envy, but also become a beacon of positivity and resilience. What steps can you take today to implement this strategy in your daily interactions? How might this change the way you feel about yourself and your relationships with others? Engaging with this method could lead you to discover more about your own capacity for empathy and your power to influence your environment positively. 6. Simply ignore. In a world increasingly connected yet paradoxically isolated, the wisdom of dealing with envy and jealousy remains as relevant as ever. The Stoic philosophers of ancient times frequently contended with such emotions, offering timeless insights that resonate profoundly today. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, aptly noted, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." This guidance holds a key to navigating the choppy waters of interpersonal relationships, particularly when confronted by the envious or jealous. The reality is stark, yet simple. Certain individuals will not change, regardless of the strategies employed. This stubborn truth arises not necessarily from the shortcomings of those who feel maligned, but often from the unrealistic expectations or personal insecurities of the detractors. These individuals might resent others for being too flawless, or perhaps for their own missteps, casting blame outward to soothe internal discord. Recognizing such personalities early in interactions can save one from undue stress and emotional expenditure. It is an essential life skill to discern when to sever or limit connections that drain your emotional reserves. Not everyone encountered in the corridors of daily life must become a friend or even a close acquaintance. When someone repeatedly injects negativity into your environment, it's prudent to reduce your exposure to them. This isn't about harboring ill will, but rather about safeguarding your mental space. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic luminary, counseled, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Therefore, managing how one reacts to the behaviors of others is crucial. It is not within your power to control others' actions, but your responses remain yours to command. Do not allow the envious to trap you in a cycle of negativity. Rather, choose to disengage and redirect your energy towards more fulfilling interactions. This decision underscores a commitment to fostering healthy relationships that are characterized by sincerity and mutual respect. In contemporary terms, think of social interactions as investments of your time and emotional energy. Just as you would not continually invest money into a failing venture, it is unwise to invest emotionally in relationships that are consistently detrimental. The strategy of ignoring, therefore, is not about neglect, but about making a conscious choice to pursue peace over conflict, health over malaise. Incorporating this approach into your daily life isn't merely about avoidance. It's a proactive strategy for emotional well-being. It emphasizes the importance of surrounding oneself with positivity and constructing an environment conducive to personal growth and happiness. Remember, as you journey through life, that the calm waters of a serene mind are achieved not by accident, but through the deliberate choices we make about who and what we allow into our lives. 7. Just be yourself. As you stride confidently along your path to success, it's inevitable that you'll encounter the green-eyed monster of envy. Imagine you've just received a promotion, launched a thriving business, or simply cultivated a fulfilling life that others aspire to. That's when you might notice more critical glances or hear whispered criticisms directed your way. Have you ever wondered why, instead of celebrating your achievements, some people seem bent on belittling them? It's because your progress highlights the stagnant waters in which they've chosen to swim. Let me tell you a story that mirrors the challenges you might face. Sarah, a young entrepreneur, recently launched her own tech startup. As her business gained traction, she noticed a shift in the behavior of some of her old college friends. Compliments turned into snide remarks, and genuine interest was replaced with cynical comments about the real reasons for her success. Despite the growing negativity, Sarah chose to focus on her goals, using the criticism as fuel to push further and innovate more. This is the essence of dealing with envy, recognizing it as a reflection of the other person's insecurities, not a true measure of your worth. Why do you think people allow envy to dictate their actions? This question isn't just rhetorical. It invites you to reflect on your own experiences with jealousy, either as the subject or the source. Envy, at its core, stems from a person's dissatisfaction with their own circumstances and the misguided belief that undermining others can elevate their status. In navigating the choppy waters of envy, the wise do not allow detractors to dictate their self-worth or derail their progress. They understand that envy is the unfortunate price of success and an indication that they are on the right path. Just as Sarah did, they keep their eyes on the horizon, their values in check, and continue to strive for excellence. The failure of others to rise above their circumstances should not impede your journey. As you encounter jealousy, remember this. Their insults, criticism, and hatred target those they see as successful, living better than them. This statement is a beacon, reminding you that your success is yours alone to build and enjoy. Envy is merely noise against the music of your achievements. In conclusion, how you deal with the envious defines not just the trajectory of your success, but the quality of your character. Stay true to yourself, your values, and your vision. Keep advancing with integrity and let your success be the noise that drowns out the whispers of jealousy. So, what will you do the next time you face envy? Will you crumble under its weight, or will you rise above it, strengthened by the knowledge that you're living a life worthy of notice? Remember, the most profound victories are those won over the battles within. 8. Focus on healthy relationships. In this episode, we delve into the art of dealing with envy and jealousy, a trial often encountered in the journey of life. Have you ever felt the sting of someone else's jealousy, or perhaps sensed a wave of envy directed your way? It's a common experience, and yet, navigating through these emotions can be quite the challenge. The question is, how do the wise handle such situations? Marcus Aurelius once said, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In the spirit of this wisdom, I invite you to shift your focus toward nurturing healthy relationships. It's a simple truth that not everyone will be pleased with you or your achievements. Some might even harbor jealousy or resentment towards you. But should this influence where you direct your energy and time? Absolutely not. Think about the kind of people who inspire you, those who radiate positivity, and those brimming with life. These are the souls who add immense value to our lives, not through grand gestures, but through their everyday acts of kindness and encouragement. Why not invest more of your energies into these enriching relationships? Surrounding yourself with such individuals not only bolsters your spirit, but also fortifies your resilience against negativity. Now, what about those who emit negativity, those who seem to thrive on belittling others? Seneca wisely advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Following this counsel, it becomes clear that allowing such individuals to influence your life or emotions serves no beneficial purpose. Instead, choose to be near those who uplift and support you. By doing so, you empower yourself to maintain control over your emotional environment. Remember, you are the master of your own life, steering your ship through turbulent waters toward the shores of those who appreciate and celebrate your true self. Let's ponder this. How might your life change if you consciously choose to spend more time with those who inspire and uplift you? What transformations could occur if you distance yourself from sources of negativity? Engaging with these thoughts can help us understand not just the practical application of Stoic principles, but also the profound impact they can have on our daily lives. By embracing this approach, you align more closely with the Stoic ideal of focusing on what is within your control, your reactions, your associations, and your mindset. This doesn't just equip you to deal with the envious and the jealous, it enriches your life by filling it with relationships that truly matter. So as we wrap up today's discussion, I encourage you to reflect on the relationships in your life. Are they lifting you up or weighing you down? Your answer to this question could be the key to not just surviving, but thriving in the face of envy and jealousy. As we conclude our exploration of the subtle signs of hidden hatred and envy, remember that awareness is the first step toward change. By recognizing these signs in our interactions, we can choose to foster positivity and understanding in our relationships, steering clear of the destructive paths envy might lead us down. If you found this video enlightening and wish to continue cultivating a life of Stoic wisdom and resilience, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos, where we'll delve deeper into transforming life's challenges into stepping stones for growth. Thank you for watching, and until next time, embrace the Stoic journey towards a more mindful and compassionate existence.